These are pretty hectic times to say the least, guys. With the pandemic still going on, civil unrest, and this very controversial election coming up in November, it's pretty obvious that people's anxiety is at an all-time high right now. In my case, there have been many times this year where my anxiety and stress just goes through the roof. And one of these times was specifically right after I watched the presidential debate. I don't know exactly what it was about it, but at the time I felt like it was just a perfect representation of the state that our country is in at this moment. And it really just ended up putting me in a very negative state of mind. So in immediate response to this, I deleted social media. I tried my best to steer clear of politics, and I recommitted myself to taking more care of my mental health. And here I am now a couple weeks later, and I definitely feel that I'm in a better state of mind, and I just feel pretty solid. So with that out of the way, today I wanted to share with you guys, just you guys, 3 things that I've come across over the past year or so that have helped me the most with dealing with anxiety, stress, or just those times where you really just feel down or unmotivated or just out of it. As you're watching this though, keep in mind, I'm not a freaking doctor, alright? I'm not a freaking doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. None of that. Not even close. These tips that I'm going to share, I've really just drawn from my own experiences, and hopefully you can take these things that I've gotten from my experiences and maybe apply it to your own life as well. And hopefully they do help. So these tips I would consider very general, meaning they aren't specific practices like say meditation, working out, or cold water plunges. I'm not saying those things aren't super effective, but in this video I wanted to approach anxiety in a different way, because anxiety really just affects everyone so differently. And certain practices or methods that work for me may not work that well for you, and vice versa. So instead, the tips that I'm sharing right now, I believe can help build a framework or a foundation that really just helps you understand exactly how anxiety affects you personally, what specific treatments or methods work best for you, and how you can get through the times where it feels like none of this stuff is actually working and you really just feel like you aren't in control. So with that said, let's get it. Number 1, which I believe is the most important key to overcoming your anxiety: awareness. In order to overcome anxiety, guys, you first have to be aware of when you're experiencing it. What I found most helpful is to constantly remind myself that I myself am not an anxious person. In fact, I don't even consider myself to have anxiety. I sometimes, or very often, depending on the case, have anxious thoughts. You have to start treating anxiety like it's a complete and separate entity from your own thoughts and consciousness. Think of anxiety as something that hijacks your thought process into producing negativity, fear, and self-doubt. Ultimately, you will rarely have any control whether anxiety makes an appearance or not. But what you can do, and what you do have control over, is being completely aware of when anxiety does make an appearance and preventing it from taking control over your entire mood, your behavior, or your mindset. Let's just say you have an exam tomorrow, right? That you really just studied your ass off for, which is rare. And you know for sure that you're gonna kill that thing. You're gonna get an A+. That assurance and self-confidence that you have is your complete, authentic self. Those are your thoughts, that's your mindset, that's everything that's within you. That is your mind completely free of anxiety. But like I said, anxiety always wants to make its presence felt. So it hijacks your thought process into producing some sort of doubt. Now you start having those thoughts like, maybe I didn't prepare as much as I should. Maybe there's gonna be some material on this thing that I didn't study for. Or maybe I'll freaking wake up 2 hours late for this exam. If you are completely unaware of when and why these thoughts are occurring, and you just go along for this anxiety-filled ride, then these negative thoughts have the ability to completely consume you. But the great news is that we all have the ability to be more aware of our patterns of thinking and pinpoint exactly when anxiety rears its ugly head. And that's the biggest, most crucial step to overcoming it. Number 2, achievement. And by achievement, guys, I don't necessarily mean landing a job, scoring good on a test, or dropping 30. What I mean by this is doing little things every day that make you struggle a bit. And once you complete them, you feel a sense of achievement and fulfillment. How does that exactly help with anxiety? Well, once again, I'm gonna completely bro science the hell out of this one. The fulfillment and sense of achievement that you get from stacking up these small wins throughout the day, for one, helps you stay focused on the present. I found that when I'm keeping myself super busy and productive, my mind doesn't race nearly as much. And 2, when I'm accomplishing little things day in and day out, it allows me to feel like I'm more in control over the quality of my thoughts and even my future. When I'm feeling very anxious, it feels like I have very little control over the quality of my thoughts and even more so what the future holds. So being able to maintain this sense of achievement and momentum essentially just puts us in the driver's seat. So what exactly does this daily achievement look like? It really just comes in so many different forms, and it's really just based on the person. What works best for me is usually physical obstacles. I usually try to start my day off with some type of morning cardio and 30 minutes in a hot ass sauna. Then I'll probably do some type of weightlifting later on in the day. Like I said, this may not be the case for everyone, but completing physical tasks throughout the day is what usually provides the biggest sense of achievement for myself. Why is that, Diego? Well, it's because it sucks. I know on the surface it seems like a pretty idiotic strategy. Newsflash, I'm an idiot. But I found that the tasks and obstacles that you have the most resistance towards every day are usually 99% of the time the ones that you need to overcome. If the last thing I want to do is my Spanish homework or call financial aid, then those things are exactly what I should be doing that day. And on the other hand, I most definitely try to do things that I actually enjoy as well, like listening to a podcast or making a video, because having some sort of creative outlet or practice that you enjoy will also keep you feeling accomplished and fulfilled. Number 3, remain optimistic. As someone who has dealt with mental health issues in the past, I've been in positions very often where it seems like there's no way out and that I'm going to be stuck in this unhealthy frame of mind forever. And trying to be positive and optimistic while going through something like that is one of the hardest things you can do. But never forget, guys, especially in your roughest moments, that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And if you try your best to remain optimistic and continue to move forward, you will eventually overcome whatever it is that you're going through. Like I've said in the past, guys, I believe in you. I know y'all got this. So those are the 3 tips that I have for you all that hopefully when applied to your own life can eventually help you overcome your own anxiety. Hope you guys found this video helpful and that you found some sort of value in it. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me in the comments section if you have any questions or clarifications regarding any of the tips. I thank you guys so much for all the support, man. Do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button because it really just means everything. So with that said, see you guys next time.